You've heard of Watergate. You know about the tapes, the resignation, and the infamous phrase, "I am not a crook." But what if that was just the surface? Richard Nixon wasn't just the first US president to resign in disgrace. He was the political godfather of modern shadow government. His story is one of paranoia, power, and deception. And it doesn't end with him. The Nixon family, their allies, and their enemies built a hidden web that stretches through intelligence agencies, corporate empires, and foreign regimes. This is the Nixon Iceberg. At each level we descend further, from public scandals to covert operations, from impeachable offenses to untouchable secrets. The deeper we go, the darker it gets. And with that, my friends, welcome to another episode of
What if Gore got elected instead of George Walker Bush? How weren't we protected for the coronavirus? What about 9/11? Who founded the KKK? Why Hayes instead of Tilden? Did all of them get away? You gotta ask history. You wanna ask history. We have to ask history. Guys, let us ask history. You gotta ask history. You wanna ask history. We have to ask history. Guys, let us ask history.
Level 1. The tip of the iceberg. What everyone knows. Watergate scandal, 1972 to 1974. The event that defines Nixon's legacy. After a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate complex, a cover-up ensued. One that would lead to the unraveling of the Nixon presidency. The revelation of secret Oval Office recordings, hush, money, and obstruction of justice ultimately forced Nixon to resign. It was the first time Americans realized just how far a president would go to protect power. Vietnam War and the expansion into Cambodia. While Nixon publicly promised to end the war, he secretly escalated it. In 1970, he authorized the bombing and invasion of Cambodia without congressional approval. This expansion intensified anti-war protests at home, including the tragic Kent State shootings. Nixon's Peace with Honor campaign masked a brutal continuation of conflict. The silent majority and culture war politics. Nixon coined the term silent majority to rally conservative Americans who felt alienated by the counterculture. His administration pioneered the Southern strategy, using coded language to win over the white voters in the South. This was the birth of modern American culture war politics. These are the stories etched into history books, but they barely scratch the surface of Nixon's dark legacy. Level 2. Below the surface. Paranoia, enemies, and secret plans. The enemies list. Nixon kept an actual list of political enemies, journalists, activists, politicians, targeted for IRS audits, wiretaps, and surveillance. It was more than paranoia, it was weaponized government power. The list included names like Paul Newman, Jane Fonda, and even the president of CBS. Operation Chaos and domestic surveillance. Working with the CIA, FBI, and NSA, Nixon ramped up illegal domestic surveillance under a program called Operation Chaos. The goal? Infiltrate and monitor anti-war civil rights groups. What started under Johnson exploded under Nixon. Peace activists were followed. Phones were tapped. Files were kept on thousands of Americans without warrants. The Houston Plan, 1970. Perhaps the most chilling glimpse into Nixon's mindset. The Houston Plan, authored by a young aide, proposed using burglary, illegal wiretaps, and opening mail to spy on subversives. Though officially revoked, many of its methods were later quietly implemented. This level reveals Nixon not just as a president, but as a man obsessed with control, willing to bend or break the Constitution to maintain it. Level 3. Deeper currents, covert ops, dirty tricks, and the shadow government. Operation Condor in Latin America. Under Nixon and his national security advisor, Henry Kissinger, the US supported coups and assassinations across South America. Most infamous, the 1973 Chilean coup that overthrew democratically elected President Salvador Allende, paving the way for dictator Augusto Pinochet. Nixon and Kissinger backed military juntas, even as they officially promoted democracy. The Plumbers Unit. Originally formed to stop leaks like the Pentagon Papers, the White House Plumbers quickly devolved into a rogue operation. Their activities included breaking into the office of Daniel Ellsberg's psychiatrist, an illegal act intended to smear Ellsberg for leaking Vietnam secrets. The Plumbers were also behind the Watergate break-in. COINTELPRO collaboration. While COINTELPRO was an FBI initiative started under Hoover, it thrived during Nixon's term. Nixon's administration used it to target Black Panthers, the American Indian movement, and anti-war groups. Assassinations, false flag ops, and disinformation were part of the toolkit. Nixon didn't just condone it, he weaponized it. At this level, Nixon isn't just abusing power. He's blending with the intelligence deep state to neutralize dissent. Level 4. The Abyss. Money, mob ties, and post-presidency influence. Howard Hughes, Bibi Rebozo, and suspicious money. Billionaire Howard Hughes gave large sums of cash to Nixon through his close friend Bibi Rebozo. The money, some in paper bags, was unaccounted for, and its purpose remains unclear. Rebozo, a Florida banker with alleged mob ties, funneled millions through Nixon's inner circle. Despite clear signs of corruption, no charges were brought. Mafia connections? Nixon's early campaigns received support from mob-linked labor unions and businessmen. His relationship with Teamsters boss Jimmy Hoffa raised eyebrows, particularly after Hoffa's mysterious disappearance. Some researchers believe Nixon's commutations and legal favors were a quid pro quo with organized crime, trading protection for political capital. Pardoned, but not powerless. After Gerald Ford controversially pardoned Nixon in 1974, the public saw him as disgraced. But behind the scenes, Nixon remained an influential figure. He advised Reagan and even Clinton. He built foreign policy connections with China and Russia, quietly maintaining a presence in global affairs while keeping his past sealed behind the presidential libraries and redacted files. This level suggests that Nixon's resignation wasn't the end. It was the start of a more covered chapter in his influence. Level 5. The ocean floor. Secrets buried in the vaults. The missing 18.5 minutes. During the Watergate investigation, a key tape was found to be mysteriously erased. 18.5 minutes of audio gone forever. The contents have never been recovered. Nixon's secretary claimed it was an accident, but experts doubt the explanation. Was it the smoking gun that proved criminal intent? We may never know. The Bohemian Grove mystery. Nixon famously attended Bohemian Grove, an elite California retreat for the political and business elite. In a rare recorded comment, he called it the most faggy goddamn thing you could ever imagine. But he kept going back. What role did this secretive club play in shaping Nixon's alliances? Or his paranoia? Taken together, these final fragments suggest that the full extent of Nixon's secrets may still lie hidden in archives, burned documents, and the memories of powerful men who never spoke. Final thoughts. The Nixon Iceberg is more than a tale of corruption. It's a blueprint for modern political manipulation. From surveillance to smear campaigns, much of what shocked America then has since become normalized. History doesn't just repeat, it deepens. What do you think? Write your opinion and version of the iceberg in the comments below. Please be polite and kind. If you want to know how deep the Bush iceberg is, click on the video on the left. Thanks for watching.